Hello lovelies, we're going to do the Rosette of Thorns stitch. It's basically a really fancy blanket stitch. I'm going to do a larger version than I normally would, just for demonstration purposes. You're definitely going to need a straight line for this, so draw one with your heat erasable or washable fabric pen. Then we're going to need some semicircles along that line. I found this really handy tool on Amazon. You can find them anywhere. Your kids have probably got one. Each of these semicircles is one of the rosette stitches. And not including the stitches along the bottom, you are going to have 5 stitches inside that semicircle. We're going to bring our needle and thread up through the fabric over here, see, at the very start of the line. And then we're going to go slightly up that curve and do our first stitch. Leave a loop, you need this loop. And in the middle of that line, below that semicircle, bring your needle up through the fabric, up through the loop. That's your first stitch. We're going to do this all the way around the crescent. We're going to do 5 stitches. You might want to mark out the spots on the semicircle where you want those 5 stitches to be if you are particularly concerned with how evenly spaced they are. But you're going to do 5 stitches. You've got the middle one now, and then we're going to do the last 2. These are really easy. The only tricky part is when you swap to that next semicircle, but I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. Oh, I knocked it there, sorry about that. Okay, this is the final stitch, and we're going to work this just like all the other ones. Down through on the semicircle and up on the middle of that line in that first semicircle. Bring it up through. Make sure you've got your 5 evenly spaced stitches, and then we're going to go on to the next semicircle and we're going to do that first stitch. So it's actually level with the last stitch on that semicircle before. Leave the loop. We're coming up on the middle of the line in that semicircle, and there you have it. That's how you swap over to the next one. Like I said, you might find it easier if you mark out the 5 stitch points around the edge of the semicircle if you want it to be really neat. Quick note about those stitches along the bottom on the line. Don't go into the same hole for everyone. Try and get them as close together but next to each other, if that makes sense. If not, let me know. I'll try and explain it better in a comment. I've done 2 examples for you. One, which is this one, done in Perla, which is that slightly thicker thread that comes on the balls by DMC. And the other example is done in 2 strands of embroidery floss in a much smaller scale, which is, I think it looks nicer in the smaller scale. It looks a bit neater. So, this is your Rosette of Thorns stitch. If you like this, please subscribe, follow, like, whatever. Thank you so much. Happy stitching.